Hello, everyone. Welcome to another beautiful mentored session. Well, it's such a joy to have each and every one of you join us tonight. And left to me, I would probably like to call today Judgment Day for all of us. And it's not just for me, neither is it for Keziah here. Apostle Jonathan has entrusted us with a very big responsibility. And that responsibility is, instead of introducing a new topic, would love to refresh our minds by going back to two powerful topics that he has taught on this mentored, which is cordiality in relationship and dealing with pain. My name is Tanino Silvanus, and I'll be taking you through dealing with pain. And with me here is
Keziah, and I'll be taking cordiality in relationship. So it's actually nice to be here. And in person of Apostle Jonathan Lagang for this rare privilege. We honor and celebrate you, sir. So just like Nino rightly said, we'll be taking these two amazing topics that were treated weeks ago. But before we kickstart, we are going to start with a word of prayer. Dear God, we thank you for today. We give you praise for this amazing session, amazing time. Lord, we ask that people joining all around the world are going to find answers to their questions. In the name of Jesus Christ, we trust, Lord, that you are going to do exceedingly abundantly beyond all we could ask or think. For in Jesus' victorious name we have prayed. Amen. So without wasting much of our time, we are going to kickstart. But before then, you watching us, you can do well to like, share, and subscribe to this YouTube channel because we have more edifying content coming your way. Whether you are a leader, you're an individual trying to navigate your life, trying to know your purpose and all that, this is the right place for you. So ensure you click on the subscribe button. So cordiality in relationships, I really liked how Apostle started the whole topic. So he started by telling us the types of relationships we have, which number one is family relationships, acquaintance, friendship, romantic relationships, as we also known as erotic relationships, and then business and corporate relationships, and also marital relationships, the one you have with your spouse. And then he went ahead to also define what being cordial means. And then cordial means being politely warm and friendly. Politely warm and friendly. It is the quality of being cordial. And again, I would like to draw our attention to the fact that cordial comes from the word cordiality. I would want to urge us, if you are yet to like, share, or subscribe to this channel, kindly do so. And you watching us right now, the comment section is there for you to engage. Feel free to drop your questions. Feel free to share your thoughts. And if you do not want to drop it for everyone to see, you can feel free to share it via email at apostlejonathanlagang@gmail.com. So moving on, he also said that cordiality is not the same as friendship. It's not the same as friendship. And he went ahead to properly define what cordiality in relationship means. And I'm going to read it right now. It means the practice of maintaining a warm, respectful, and politeful connection with others. It fosters a harmonious relationship without necessarily being emotionally attached with the person. And most of the times we see cordial individuals. And I also want to draw us to that point, which says that you can be cordial with everyone, but not friends with everyone. And I think that's what we mix up these days when you see people being, just being cool.
It's just like you're unable to differentiate between having an acquaintance and having an actual friend. I think there's a common saying that the convener, that is Apostle Jonathan Lagang, says niceness is not the fruit of the spirit. That means you can literally be kind to someone but not necessarily nice to the person.
Exactly.
So it works hand in hand with being cordial and being friendly.
Thank you so much for your input, Neno. And Apostle went ahead to give us 6 amazing benefits of cordiality in relationship. and I know you are eager to be reminded of these points. Number one, it creates opportunities. Yes, that's one of the benefits of cordiality in relationship. It creates opportunities. Number two is it creates mutual respect. And then number three is it improves professional or social efficiency. And number four, which I like, or how you talk, how you compose yourself, is actually key. So this is one of the keys which Apostle gave us while talking about this amazing topic, cordiality in relationship. And then he gave us he gave us points on how to practice cordiality in relationship, in case you're like, oh, okay, maybe I'm finding it hard to be cordial. So he made it so simple for us to actually know how to practice being cordial with people. So it's number one is offer genuine greetings and give compliments when necessary.
Emphasis on when necessary.
So well, I think for me, I'm a bit guilty with the fact that sometimes I'd be like, oh, I'm shy, I cannot tell this person or approach this person, how would they take it? And some people might be like, hi, good evening, or hello, good evening. You know, it's Nigeria, everybody they vex. So, but I think the part B, that's the 1B of offer genuine greetings. And then when you say, okay, hi, good evening, even if the person is in a bad mood, and then you'd be like, you look so beautiful.
There's something it does.
Yes,
in the spirit.
exactly.
It does something.
Yes, so that is actually a very key point for you to hold if you want to be cordial with people around you. And then number 2 is practice active listening. This resonates with my spirit because, you know, we are in a world where everybody has an opinion to everything.
Yes.
Everybody wants to talk. Well, I'm just like, can you just keep quiet? I don't want to use the other word, but just kindly keep quiet. Everybody wants to show that, okay, I have an opinion. I know what you're trying to say, and then you will not let the other person to land. You just take off the words from their mouths. So if you want to be cordial, you need to be an active listener. I think there are a lot of courses. If I say there are courses on being an active listener, maybe some people will be like, I need skills to be an active. Exactly. So you actually need skills to be an active listener. I think I took 1 years back, being an active listener, and it was a short but very, very impactful course. So you can actually take courses on how to be an active listener, so that when you are holding conversations, you can be able to know when to chip in, when to keep quiet, when your opinion actually matters. So that's another point that he gave. And then the third point is to set clear boundaries. It's very needful. Set clear boundaries. And then number 4, which is the last point on how to practice these cordiality, or how to be cordial, is keep your interactions professional. And I think it's actually a thin line, because some people become so cordial with people, or because you are getting a very good response. You're getting a very good response from the other person you are being cordial with. They don't know when to actually keep it professional. Yes, draw a line.
Just lose it completely, and you're like, I just want to be myself.
You say feel. No, me say it goes for remote. Exactly. So please, you need to keep your interactions professional, and these are the 4 amazing ways at which you can practice how to be cordial, or the whole point of the topic, cordiality in relationship. So giving us he called it assignments. I don't know, you watching us, are you sure you did that assignment? Can you even remember? Can you remember they gave us an assignment that day? So that is why we are holding this review session. It's for you to go back and look at it.
I think today is a good refresher for you to actually go and do that assignment.
Yes. So if you are just joining us, you are on to Mentored, and you can do well to like, to share the link with somebody around you. Please feel free to post it on your status, on your news feed. Somebody might be right there waiting, or this can be an answer to their questions. So I'm going to quickly read through. Okay.
That being said, sharing and all that, like a refresher on the assignments that Apostle gave us on this day, the day he took this particular topic, cordiality in relationship. But before then, we would like to take a 1-minute break, and we'll be back. Crack your brain and think of that assignment. If you can remember, drop it in the comments, so we'll get back to it. See you soon. Welcome back. I am certain the comment section is buzzing right now. I'll assume that is what is happening. So we're going to dive directly into where we stopped. That is, talking about the whole assignment that was given. And I am sure that our audience have, cracked their brain by now. So please take over. Thank you.
So just like she rightly said, I believe we are all eager to be reminded of the assignment again. So the first one,
there are plenty.
Yeah, it's actually 3. He said practice these 3 things in his voice. So he said, number 1, learn to deal with toxic people.
Very important.
Yeah, so you have to take out time to know or learn how to deal with toxic people. And I believe these 6 points that we just listed are part of the ways at which you can deal with toxic people. Imagine somebody's being toxic with you, and then you walk up with them with a warm smile, and then you be like, good afternoon, then you look great. I don't know, even if it's the person that has the most strongest hearts, it will melt their hearts. Exactly. So, and then number 2 is tax yourself continually to practice it. That means to practice all the 6 benefits of cordiality in relationships, and also how to practice being cordial. So you need to tax yourself continually. Do you need a Google Calendar? We have different scheduling platforms. We have Notion. You can name it all. So you can tax yourself daily. Okay, am I going to meditate on this? How am I going to take up this whole lessons? Please do well to do that. And then the third and last point is learn to close relationships when their time is up. Learn to close the door. So this is why you need the spirit of discernment. You need to discern when that door is meant to be closed.
Trying to keep, bridges that are supposed to be.
Yes. And I think sometimes most individuals make that mistake. They don't know when to close it. They don't know when to say, okay, this is done. You understand? You just keep on pushing yourself, making it work. There are some things that just can't work.
True.
So that's why I said you actually need the spirit of discernment to draw the line. So you need
the ability to peacefully burn that bridge without,
quarrels or heartbreak. Although the heartbreak, yes, that's if the person cares. So the heartbreak will be from your own end. So you need to learn how to close relationships when their time is up. And I think this is all about cordiality in relationships. I'm going to allow Nino to take us through the next part.
Well, what do I say? In all honesty, I would say cordiality in relationship and dealing with pain work hand in hand. Because for you to be able to, even feel the pain, especially when we are talking about emotional pain, you have to deal with people before you get to that point. That being said, we are going to dive right into dealing with pain, and I hope that your pens are ready. Again, for those that didn't take notes the first time, the message is still up on our father's page, Apostle Jonathan Lagang. If you have not shared this session, kindly do so. Share with your loved ones, like, subscribe, drop your comments, say what you feel in your heart. Thank you so much. Now, dealing with pain is something that is a topic that I think it resonates with me in all sense of the word. Resonates. Apostle began by helping us understand that pain is not one dimensional. He said that he identified 3 dimensions of pain, and that is the physical pain. We have physical pain, emotional pain, and then psychological pain. These are the 3 dimensions of pain that he gave us that day. He said something. He gave us, before that, he gave us, few facts about pain. One of it is pain is a universal language. He described pain as a universal language. And I honestly think I agree. He said something. He said every human being on earth has experienced something that has caused them pain. You and I will agree. Yeah. All human beings have. And he said that pain, in as much as it is universal, our responses to it are different. The way something is going to make you feel, or a certain level of pain. I think just like our bank account, we have like a threshold for our money. So there's a level that money can enter your account. You know that your threshold is not up to that. It's same with pain, right? So there's a threshold. We have level of like a threshold when it comes to pain. And he said that for some people, pain becomes a trigger. Yes, becomes a trigger. I've gone through a certain period, or something has happened, and then a repetition, something happened that will just remind me of that experience. So it's actually a trigger, and then it becomes, he said it becomes a part of everybody's recovery process, which I agree. Pain, your recovery process, you have to remember those seasons, you have to remember those pains. And one statement that made me made me think about pain to a certain level, he said pain is impartial. Everybody go collect. It's impartial. He said that, and he said it does not discriminate. It visits everybody, and it visits you at your level. Exactly. I was listening to a particular podcast one day, and the man said that, he said money, we grow with money. It's same with pain. Every level has its own pain. So that is it. Now, the number 2 point he gave here is that pain is much more felt than it can be described. You and I, you that is watching, and I seated here, we both will agree that pain is much more. Have you ever been in a situation where you are hurt and you don't know how to describe it? You don't know what to say, and then somebody comes in and asks you, Keziah, how are you? Or what happened? You break down. No, now it is your breaking down and crying. It's your description of the pain. You can't really say. Yeah.
It's actually a traumatic experience. And professionally, there are ways at which you approach people who are
yes
you don't just go ahead and be like, what
happened? It's just
insensitive.
Very insensitive.
Yes.
Very, very insensitive. So and I think sometimes he said sometimes trying to describe what we've been through, the memories themselves come running back, because you're trying to describe. By all means, I think that there are some pains that you don't even have to say. You don't have to say. You just now only and Holy Spirit. So you just don't have to say it. Whether the pain is from neglect or losing someone, being misunderstood, betrayal, abuse, or even the pain of feeling like a disappointment. You can feel pain when you feel like you are a disappointment in this area of your life. There is pain that comes with that feeling. So whether that he said something, words are often not enough to express what the heart truly experienced. Right? And then he connected this to experience of Jesus Christ, of course. He said, refreshing from the scripture, sick experience Jesus went through gave him an understanding of our pain. Yes, he gave Jesus Christ an understanding of our pain. He doesn't sympathize with us. He understands because he has gone through the same thing. So he understands. Now, and then there's one thing I would say that I think I totally agree with, that a lot of us, it's actually controversial to a level, because when he said it, before I agreed with it, I had to think. I was like, wait, he said pain has benefit. That's the third point he gave us. He said pain has benefits. Talk to me about benefits. What benefit can pain actually have? Is pain is pain. But he said something. He said it's usually points, where many people reacted strongly, because it's difficult to imagine pain having, any benefit. And he said that although it is pleasurable, right, we also learn under negative circumstances. We learn. He made a very profound statement on that day. He said that suffering can also be a school, which I totally agree. I think one of the fruits of the Spirit is difficult. Long suffering, because sometimes there are days I ask myself, why do we even have long suffering in the fruit of the Spirit? So that's one. He's and one of the lessons that can be learned when you can learn, the way you can learn lesson, like an honest lesson, sometimes through pain experience. You learn. He doesn't just blindly say pain have benefits and we don't agree, and so he gave us some of those benefits. One is pain tells you that you are not dead yet. It's only a dead man that will not feel pain. Yes, and he said so many examples that I agree with. He said if you're not feeling pain in certain areas of your body, that means a cell or maybe part of your body is dead or is numb. Yes, so is numb. So that means there's a problem. You have to check. Yes. And then the second one is, he said pain indicates that there is an injury. There is an injury. Pain lets us know that something is wrong. When you feel pain, it means something is wrong. It tells us that something needs attention and healing. So it's a different thing to actually have the attention, but not the healing. You can get the attention and not the healing that you need. And he said something. He said, without pain, the injury may go unnoticed. It may go unnoticed. That really made sense to me. It may go unnoticed. And he also said the third one is pain reminds you that you are a human being. Yes, says you are. Feeling pain is not a sign of weakness. I don't know how I feel about this particular one.
We're in an environment where we have men that do not like, showing off their weakness. They don't like a lot. I think the previous International Men's Day, right?
Yes.
We have a lot of men saying that they're not being celebrated as they should. But one thing about women is they speak. They are expressive.
Very expressive.
So if you're not expressive about that pain, I think You will not actually get.
Talking about this Men's International Day, have you noticed that in this generation, men are celebrated more than they've been celebrated before? And that's because some of them have come out to say this thing matters to us as well. So yes, feeling pain is not a sign of weakness. It's simply a part of our humanity. That is one thing that I really, really agree with. And then the fourth one is painful experience help shape future decisions. Very true. Very true on all levels. Traumatic, experience, from what I picked when he was speaking. He said traumatic experience on all levels often remain with us long enough to help us make wiser decisions. You just like, if there's a particular passage now, you are going through it and there's another way. This one is shorter, but if you hit your leg often there, that's painful, right? You will learn to use the other way because this one is here, yes, but there's another way that will not hurt me. So it makes you make a wiser choice to pick which way to follow. So I totally agree with that. And as the saying goes, he said, once bitten, twice shy. Right? Pain can become a teacher if you are willing to learn, if we are willing to learn. I'm going to go back to everyone that is watching right now and also in the comments. I hope you people are dropping your questions, right? I hope you are. And I hope you're dropping what you learned or how this thing stood out for you differently from how we are explaining it. It will make so much sense to go back to the comments and I read another person's point of view. So please drop your POV. Thank you. So moving on, and the last benefit that he gave us here is, the second to the last is, pain compels you to pay attention to yourself. This is where he spoke about self-love a lot. And honestly, I think self-love is not selfishness. Exactly, but it's not selfishness. There are certain situations that will make you realize, and you cannot extend love to the other person if you don't first love yourself.
Exactly. Love your neighbor
as yourself. God didn't say love your neighbor alone. He said as yourself. That means you have to love yourself first before you're able to love your neighbor. Yes. So it's like it's stewarding something you've given yourself already. And that is really true. He said, and he mentioned something. He said, it enables us to extend genuine love to other people. We cannot continually pour from a place of brokenness. You cannot be broken. You understand? Yeah. So yeah, I really love that. And the last one here is pain helps you gauge your healing process. I think sometimes we don't realize that we've healed until we encounter something that broke us. That's when you realize. Is for instance, someone did something that hurts, and then you convince yourself along the line that you've healed. You will not really know that you've healed until somebody else does the same thing, and you don't react or you don't feel the way you felt the first time. That is when you're able to gauge if you're still broken or not. That's your healing process. And I totally agree with it. And he said something, the last part of this, he said, pain can become a measure of recovery. It actually can be a measure of recovery. So yeah, with all these points, we have given, our apostle has given 6 benefits of pain, which I just read now, and I am so sure that it resonates with each and every one of us watching right now. We are going to dive into the other parts, which are the thoughts and the other examples he gave us. And then before we go on to the psychology of pain, I'm going to call this another break, just 1 minute short break, and then we come back. And like I said, because we just entered another topic, so please write what you think in the comments. Anything that comes to your mind, just drop it in the comment. Feel at home. See you in the next 1 minute.
Welcome back from that amazing short break, and I believe the comment section is already bubbling. And Neno has already spoken about the benefits of pain and all of that, and I'm enjoying myself right here in the studio. Neno, are you enjoying yourself?
Absolutely.
All right, so we will not waste so much time. Neno is going to continue with the rest of the points. Over to you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you. Well, I love what is happening in the comment section. Believe Refor Silas, I'm sorry if I killed your name. He said, if men decide to be expressive like women, the world may not be at peace. What do you mean? Talk your mind, express your pain. You know, some women also express their pain and they don't get the attention it needs. So not every pain that is expressed will need, the level of so
different from attention seeking.
it's different. It's different.
Attention seekers and all that. But it's different.
It's different. Just express and see. Yeah. Express your pain. Thank you so much for joining us this night. Thank you, everyone. We're moving on to the fourth point we have here, and please keep your comments coming in. Share with your loved ones. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. Now, the fourth point here is numbing pain doesn't necessarily amount to healed wounds. And I think this should answer belief, by the way. By numbing your pain and not being expressive, Apostle said, numbing your pain does not necessarily amount to healed wounds. So as they do you for heart, talk am, right? Nobody would die. Just say it. So yeah, this was one of his strongest statements that I totally agree with. He explained that it is possible to kill the pain of an injury without actually healing the wound. I think it can never be said more perfect than this way. And one statement that stood out for me was that focus on healing and the pain will naturally go. So if part of your healing is expressing this pain, express it. So when someone undergoes, he set an example. He said when someone undergoes, a surgical operation, that the anesthesia is administered and all that, you don't feel pain while they are cutting and doing all this stitching and all that when it's taken. However, he said, after the surgery, the anesthesia wears off and the pain returns back to you. So, but the pain is not necessarily a bad sign. We all know it. And not everyone. I mean, for those who have gone through surgery, you would agree with me on 100% that the pain does not necessarily mean it is a bad sign. It is an evidence that your body was touched in order to bring healing. Talk about pruning moments and all that. God will keep you in a place and it's just you. The pain you feel, you'll be asking what's going on. Why are everybody? Why are people away and all that? So I think instead of always trying to numb the pain, Apostle challenge us to focus on healing instead of trying to numb them. So whether your pain is physical, whether it is emotional, whether it is psychological, make sure you focus on healing. Now, going to the fifth point, which is the psychology of pain. This was towards the end of the session. Apostle introduced what he discussed, he would discuss in part 2, which has not taken place. So if you've not gone through the part 1, go back and watch that session and prepare yourself for the second part of this teaching, dealing with pain. Thank you. He said something. He said our emotions, our thoughts, attention, and traumatic experiences are all connected. He also mentioned that there are emotional gateways that can make pain feel intense, and there are ways those gates can be closed as healing takes place, right? And he also he reserved the details for the next teaching, but he reminded us that the purpose of the discussion is not simply to understand pain. That is not the purpose. It's not just to understand. The purpose is to find healing from the wounds inflicted on us by tragic experiences of life. Yes. Holding the pain, you don't want to let go. You're not Pharaoh. Let it go. Yeah, please. And then the sixth one here is healing begins with a decision. You have to decide. You have to be intentional. You have to intentionally let go So that is when you're healing. He brought us back to the teaching. He said that pain, he reminded us to the first thing he said in the teaching. He said pain is a universal language. It is. He encouraged us to become more compassionate towards people. So he said something. He said that, the next time you meet someone and the person appears to be resistant, withdrawn, or, difficult, or maybe unwilling to associate with you, understand. Remember that unhealed wounds often influence people's behavior. It actually does. And just like he spoke earlier, he said the way you take it, the way we respond to pain is different. Maybe the way you would, try to heal is different from the other person. Your timeline might be different. So try to understand and show kindness. It is important to, show kindness to these people. And he said something, first of all, make an honest decision to be healed. And that is where healing begins. It begins when you decide that one painful experience will not define your life or determine your future. And he also mentioned that you should seek help from the right people.
Exactly. I think that's the root. Because some people might have tried to open up before, but because maybe I go open up, they can't use my matter as gossip.
Exactly.
You understand? So it might have withheld them from opening up and going through that healing process all over again. So that point is
and that I think that is in connection with what he said, because here he said that there will always be people God has positioned who understand your pain and are willing to stand with you through your healing journey. So you have to understand, it's not everybody. I remember there was a session he was taking one time, and he said something. He said, most times you have to pray to God to lead you to the person you need help. That will help you, that God will use to help you. So for you to even go to somebody and just blah, this thing is going on with me, you have to pray. The Holy Spirit should direct you to the people God has positioned to help you go through your healing process. And I agree with that. And then lastly, he reminded us that God's desire is not simply that we endure pain. His desire is that we find healing. That is why the Bible said by his stripes we are healed. Thank you so much for joining us on this session. I just want to use 30 seconds to ask you, Keziah, how does it feel to go over this over again? Something you've heard, you've listened to over time, and you have to sit and review it.
Sincerely, I would say it's a relief for me, and it has made me to understand some points that I actually thought I understood then, but going over it again and again, that is where meditation is very important. So, and I believe you also watching us have your brain has been refreshed. Some points have been brought to light more and more for you. And please don't stop. We have a lot of these mind-blowing and life-transforming topics treated in this platform, Mentored. So you can just feel free, go over the videos, live videos and all of that. And you will definitely find the answer to that question that is lingering in your hearts. So.
And also, thank you so much for joining. For the comments, we are getting back to the comments. We think it's going to make more sense and be more, good if we leave these comments for when Apostle comes for the next session. And then when he is here, we'll read your comments, we'll read your questions, and we'll have him answer all of them. By that being said, that is me telling you, get yourself ready for the next session and make sure you're online. Make sure you join. Make sure you comment. Again, make sure you share with your loved ones. This is Mentored, and we are so happy to review this session with you. Thank you, and have an amazing, amazing evening.